welcome you to our State of Business University Park. The purpose of this event is to do several things. At the Chamber of Commerce, our official name is the Rich Township Chamber of Commerce, and we do business as Chamber 57. So first of all, I want to say that we represent University Park, Olympia Fields, Park Forest, Richardson Park, and Matheson. Now with that being said, our focus for the 2018 is to make sure that we're able to service those communities in our highest capacity. And the only way that we can truly do that is to get out and talk to each community, figure out exactly what we can highlight as a success, but then also find out what the challenges are and see how we can work as a region to fix it. The purpose of it is not to, put anybody on a pedestal, but is to figure out how we can use this project, this platform, as a way that we can positively promote the region. We realize that in order to do business, big companies aren't looking at us as one community. They're looking at us as a region. And so we have to speak as a region. So when something happens in Madison, it affects Park Forest. When something happens in University Park, it affects Olympia Fields. And so we have to be able to communicate together. We have to be able to work together. We have to be able to tell a message that has the same voice. We have a four-year university in our region. We have highways right off the expressway in our region. We have a lot of successful businesses in our region. We have income in our region. There's no reason that we cannot be a successful region. So what we want to do as a chamber is to highlight those successes. We want to highlight those businesses that are doing well so others can see it and want to become a part of it. We want to highlight the communities that are doing well. And so other communities, other businesses can see that and want to become a part of it. So the purpose of this is to, first of all, tell the story. Because if we don't tell our story, somebody else will. And as you all know, other people have been telling our story and it hasn't been good. And so we want to tell a story that's positive. I don't want to bash anybody. There are problems in every community. But if you have somebody looking out and the community itself is talking bad about the community, how is that going to make them want to come and support that community? It's not. And so the purpose of us to be here is to figure out what those challenges are as a community, as a unified group, and then work on the solutions. Does that make sense? Yes. All right, perfect. So I want to just take the time to thank our wonderful Mayor Vivian Covington, for not only being part of the chamber, but having her full support. Mayor Covington is, since the very first time that I brought our agenda and our platform to her, completely supported it 100%. And so we have chosen to have University Park be the first of a series of State of Businesses. We will have one here tonight. We'll have one in Richardson Park next month. Olympia Fields the following month, Park Forest after that, and then we will finish with Matheson. And so we will have an opportunity to talk to each community, figure out exactly what they're doing, and then figure out a way that we can all highlight those things together. Is that okay with everybody? Yes. You already have a good time tonight? Are you already being informed? Yes. Wonderful. So without any further ado, I want to turn it over to Mayor Covington.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm so honored that you came out. I would like to thank you all for coming out this evening, and I'm very, very happy about Chamber 57. We have been doing a collaborative effort through the Southland area for a few years now. Unbeknown to a lot of people, we've gone to Vegas. Trustee Williams was with us as well at that time, and we have a booth in Vegas, so it will be economically feasible for us to announce the Southland area. In the Southland area, all the villages in the Southland stood there, and we worked with the hundreds and thousands of businesses that came to our booth, and we made appointments to meet with them. So only to find out that some of them were saying, well, you don't have enough people, you don't have enough people. So we thought together, collectively, we would put our regions together, and maybe we can attract some businesses. It might not happen in University Park, it might happen in Olympia Fields, but it needs to happen in our region as far as development. And I know a lot of things have not been positive for all of us, and a lot of people complain about the north of us in the south suburbs and that, and what they're getting, and we should be getting the same thing. So we thought about this effort to work now, and Chamber 57 is one of the best things that ever happened. I was at an event that they had. Their organization has a lot of very high-end businesses. I was there, I sat at the table with the black organization of, McDonald's. That, you didn't even know was an African-American man that did that. And other companies and other businesses. So we're very happy to be a part of that. So I know our people have said here in this village that we need economic development here in University Park. So I always try to look out what could help it happen and help us be better than we are, and what can we do to draw more companies. So at this time I'd like to acknowledge our village elected officials that are here right now. Trustee Williams, Trustee Brooks, and the gracious Trustee Paula Wilson that's coming in from work. We're happy to have them. So at this time, I would like to, again, thank the Chamber for even thinking about University Park as well. We are being known here locally. I brought University Park all the way up nationally, and it's a great thing because that was the thing that I wanted to do when I first became on this mayor, but when I became a part of this village elected officials. We didn't even have an internet, and I helped get us a DSL here many years ago, and it saved the village $460,000. We did not have an internet, people. We couldn't have the little other internet, just put it like that. And now we are able to communicate with the world. We did not have a zip code. It took me 6 years to do that, but we got the zip code now. We have an I-57, and I'll leave that up to our engineers to elaborate more on that. But we're not where we used to be. We're not where we want to be, but we're sure headed the right way to be where we need to be. So at this time, I won't delay because we have a lot of presentations tonight, and I'll move it over to Chief Pate.
Good evening, everyone. We're in the economic development section. Well, we're going to have a couple of presentations by a couple of stakeholders in the village that has participated in being essential partners in assisting the village with their economic development goals. My first presentation will be Ernest Roberts from Robertson Engineering, and he's going to go over the various project statuses of the village in the past, tell us what we're looking in the present, and showing us a way ahead. Thank you. Ernest.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. To Mayor Covington, the Board of Trustees who are present, and to the residents, thank you again for coming out. My name is Ernest Roberts. I am the Village Engineering Representative with Robertson Engineering. We have been the Village Engineering Representative since about August of 2011. And I just remember coming in, and the mayor basically gave us our marching orders from the beginning that she wanted to move the village forward, and there were a lot of projects and things that she wanted to get done, and it was kind of a daunting task given what had previously transpired. But we put our heads together, and one of the first projects that I'm still proud to even mention to this day, because it's still ongoing, is the University Parkway project from I-57 to Crawford, and that project is just about complete. It'll be complete in the spring of this year. We just have a few more items left. That interchange was huge at the time. The street didn't go through across the I-57. IDOT was, Illinois Department of Transportation was threatening to take the funding away because the project had sat for a long time. And so our first duties was to really coordinate with IDOT and say, hey, can you give us an extension? Let's take over the project. Let's see what the funding is. And then from that point, we were able to break the project down into phases. Originally, it was one single project, and then we ended up doing it in multiple sections. So the interchange was about $41 million. That was completed late 2015. We had a ribbon cutting there. It was a very well-attended event. And I can tell you that singular project has spurred economic growth big time in the village. There's a lot of expansion that's going on, a lot of interest in some of the open parcels that we have in that area. all because of the leadership that we have and the present administration that we have here. So just give yourselves a round of applause for that. That is a long time coming. So we work with the Department of Transportation, Will County. They actually contributed to the local match in the amount of $400,000, which was unprecedented. We were able to convince them that this was not just a University Park project, but this was a regional project that affected the whole area, the whole corridor. So we were very proud of that. That allowed us to get the project completed. As I stated again, will be done in the spring of this year with a lot of the just minor odds and ends that we have left there. So also we had a couple other projects that we were working on, a lot of grants. One of them was a CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, which was very tough to get in Will County. We work a lot in Cook County, so the money here was not as plentiful, let's put it that way. But we were able to do a major sewer project in one of the residential areas. Sandra Blackhawk was prone to flooding, and we were able to get a grant for $170,000 to do that. Again, that was the mayor's leadership. We went and presented several times to Will County and to their board, and we finally were able to get awarded, so that project is also completed. In the spring of this year, we have the RTA Access to Transit project. That was another fully funded grant. It funded all 3 phases of engineering as well as construction, and what it provided was additional sidewalk routes along bus route 367 that runs through the residential area, up the Parkway, and then through Governor State University, and then to the Metro. So that right there in and of itself is about a $500,000 project. That'll be completed late spring of this year as well. And we have a presentation board here. It's so cluttered that I didn't want to even stand up and even point to it because there's so many projects that we've had since 2011. And we're very proud to have partnered with the village on some of those things. Some of the other ones quickly were the Hickok Bridge. As you know, people that are residents here at University Park, the bridge was in disrepair for years. And we were able to get a Safe Routes to School grant for that, as well as additional sidewalk near some of the other middle school areas, and with the solar flashers. And we had a 90-foot span prefabricated bridge that went in. It's a beautiful bridge, and people would have to walk almost a mile to get across the creek there. So we were able to do that. It was we actually have pictures of that. I think it was on the website, and how they actually brought it in. We had the actual bridge shipped from Wisconsin, and it was shipped in its full state. So it was quite a construction feat to see it go in. I was very happy to be a part of that too as well. Some of the other projects that we have currently, we just completed the phase 1 for the bike path that's along the University Parkway between Stegamoni Road and Western. Currently, I see a lot of people, using that path. The path is in disrepair. It's 4 feet wide right now. The standard is 10 feet. We're coming in this year with design and construction engineering for that, and we should be able to get that done too. That's another $500,000 project. And again, that was through the Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program, ITEP. Again, that was another grant, federal grant that again the mayor and the current administration has pushed to get this done. And I think it'll be good because now the focus is on complete streets and for non-motorized pedestrians usage. So we're trying to get more people to bike, to walk. It's healthy. You're starting to see bike paths all over the place at this point, and which is a good thing. So also that's one of the other things that we had going. And again, we're also looking at the intersection of Governor's Highway and University Parkway. Now that we have the other sections that are completed, we've actually sent letters to the Department of Transportation and to the Secretary of Transportation to get a meeting with them to discuss that intersection. It is a dangerous intersection. I think there was a fatality back in 2010. There's a lot of queuing, a lot of cars that stacked there. And right now we have no momentum. So we're trying to get IDOT to fund that, to complete that third phase of the Parkway project. We want to either have traffic signals there or something more significant, maybe an overpass or underpass, but currently we definitely need signals, and at least an interconnect that was there was part of the original plan that we had before we had to break the project into phases. So we're working very diligently to make sure that IDOT recognizes this region as a major transportation hub at this point. I can tell you that since last couple of years, just looking at the map that we prepared, and you can take a look at it at your leisure, and I think it'll be posted on the website too as well. You'll be able to see all of the different things that have happened to this village infrastructure-wise. And this also spurs economic development. We have a GIS staff that's also preparing to look at some of the empty parcels and some of the other areas that we have. Some of the other potential areas where you can click on it, you can get parcel data information, PIN numbers, what's available. This is really good. When the developer comes in, they don't want to have to hunt around and figure out what's available, what's not available. We'll have it on the website. I think Chief Pate has been spearheading that along with the mayor to get that website up and running. And we'll have these economic tools that are there, looking at our TIF district reorganization. All of these things are happening right now. So they've actually, in the last couple of years, have kept us very, very busy. And we're very happy about that. So there's a lot of exciting things, again, that are happening here in the village. And again, we just appreciate the staff, the mayor, the trustees, everybody, department heads that's been working with us. And we just want to get the word out to the residents that we are moving the village forward together. So if there's any questions, let me know, feel free.
I want to make a statement also. I'm on the planning commission here for Southsburg Mayor Managers, and I do make my reports out. I said it last Tuesday that it's a $1,500,000, you know that project, Ernest, of Cicero project. That's the $1,500,000 that they have allotted, and that was the main Cicero project with the lights and the...
Oh, yes, so Cicero Avenue streetscape project. From University Parkway to just north of Stager Road. That's also in play too as well. So I forgot to mention that. There's so many of them on the page. But again, all these are grant opportunities, and you have to be proactive when it comes to that. When these federal projects come out, especially with the way Illinois funds things now or lack thereof, you really have to be proactive, and it really is a squeaky wheel gets the grease at this point. And we're very happy to be proactive when it comes to finding additional funding, to be able to be a part of this economic development piece, which is also really huge now as well. People want to service, they want to stay in their community, to be able to eat, shop, buy, do the things they need to do, and not have to go way across town and do so. So again, there's a lot of exciting things happening. So.
I want to pronounce this right, Tamara Greenhart. All right, I got it right. From Southsburg Mayor Managers.
While she's setting up and giving this presentation, Southsburg Mayor Managers, which we are a member of University Park, and our trustees, we do attend their meetings periodically and their events. And this was presented Tuesday at the planning committee, and I thought it was very exciting and what's going to happen to affect our Southland area, including us. Here.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Tamar Ferhat. I'm a geography information system analyst.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tamar Ferhat. I'm a geographic information system analyst at the South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association, or SSMMA. So SSMMA is a regional municipal association. We provide technical assistance for 45 communities located in southern Cook and eastern Will counties. We present about 700,000 residents. About GIS, or Geographic Information System at SSMMA, we have a GIS consortium. We have about 24 municipalities, member municipalities, They pay us a very reduced annual fee, and we provide them with the technical assistance to reach their goals in planning and economic development. So about today's project, I'm going to talk about making complete streets a reality in the south suburbs. So SSMMA has adopted a complete streets plan last summer. So the reason why I'm here today is to introduce you to this plan and show you how we leverage the GIS technology to create a storytelling tool that is compelling and informative. So before we dive in, I would like to quickly tell you why we created this story map. So the plan itself is a very valuable resource that provides deep information about complete streets, but it's really targeted toward planners, policy, and decision makers. So with this in mind, we hope that this tool will engage and educate more people about complete street concepts and available resources in the region. So let's talk about the overall structure of this story map. I'm going to sit down, sorry. So this story map consists of 8 sections, and you can find it in our website. You can go to ssmma.org. Under area programs, you go to transportation, and you find this story map. So you can navigate each section by their corresponding tabs. The first section is intended to provide insight into the plan itself. The second section, we define complete streets. The second section, we define complete streets. And for those of you who may not know complete streets definition, complete streets are streets for everyone. They are designed and operated to serve all users, including bicyclists, transit users, pedestrian of all ages and abilities. So we have examples of complete street design, and this includes images too. The next section, we talk about the benefits of having complete streets. I would like to talk about the economic benefits. Creating complete street will have economic benefits for communities, for households, for businesses, also health benefits, choice benefits, transportation equity benefits, and social benefits, and more. Next, the fourth section intended to shed light on context zone and roadway typologies that was found in the south suburbs. We provide pictures of all the context zone and roadway typologies and how the treatment of complete street will differ with different context zone and roadway typologies. Now, next, the user will find an embedded interactive web map that can be used by municipalities, by the general public, by planners. So this interactive web map provides transportation assets in the SSMMA region for our communities. And also, it shows all the high priority improvement areas for complete streets. So this green tab has tools. Here we can show all the layers that was found in this interactive web map. So for example, if we have an address or let's say a municipality, we can search that. So here's Richmond Park. And then we can change the pace map for this map. And then around Richmond Park, you can find all the transportation assets for the area, such as trails, base bus stops, bus trails, base bus stops, connected corridors, and these connected corridors, you can see some of them are planned, existing, or programmed. And also we have Metra commuter stations by type, a half muffer from metro stations, and these are, of course, the high priority improvement areas. Now, to show information about any feature in this map, you just click on that feature, and it will show you a pop-up information. So, for example, here's a metro station. You can find the address, the status, if it's active or not, the municipality, and everything. So while you're creating your map, you can share that, and also you can print. You can create your own map for your own municipality and print that. So next, we talked about complete street policies and policy types and complete street policies in the region. So we have another interactive board map, the same interface as the previous, but with different data layer. So these are the south suburban communities that has adopted complete streets. We have so far 12 communities that has adopted complete streets, and hopefully we'll have more after this story map. So what's interesting about this map is if you click in any municipality, you can show what kind of policy, complete street policy they have, and which year they adopted that, and then a snippet description about the whole policy. And at the end, you can find the link that takes you to the original policy document. This video shows all the pop-up events that was held by the Active Transportation Alliance in summer and fall 2016. So these pop-up events happened in the southern Cook County. So Midlothian, Richmond Park, and South Chicago Heights from our communities has participated on those events. Temporary facilities were added to the streets. People from all ages came out and tried those facilities, and the comments was, everybody noticed that the temporary facilities slowed down the traffic and made it easier for them to cross the street, and they wanted those facilities on other streets on their communities. I'm not going to show the whole video, it's 5 or 6 minutes long. But I would recommend that everybody goes back to our website and watch this video. Finally, we talk about how to take action on complete streets. So we have a link for the plan itself. We provide this for our municipality if they want to adopt a complete street policy. And then other resources such as CMAP, the complete street toolkit. And also we have a model complete street resolution and ordinance. Any municipality can just download that, either the ordinance or resolution for their own, and adopt that. And finally, I would say that we hope this story map will educate more people about complete streets and also engage more policymakers about adopting complete street policies. And again, if you want to watch that story map, you can find it in our website, ssma.org. You go to program areas and then the transportation page. Thank you.
And in that presentation on University Park, now that we have our committees and commissions back, we hope that we're going to adopt the same thing, and our committee will be working on that. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to be deviating a little bit from the agenda. We have Dr. Wendy Ringo that's up on our panel today. She organized the outstanding marathon that occurred last year, and I wanted her to speak on a little bit of plans for our upcoming marathon coming year, and her experiences in University Park, and going from there. Her marathon brought in people from out of state, so we had a lot of out-of-state coverage from various people from out of state. Very people coming to visit, learning more about University Park, running through Governor State University, which I'm sure sparked some interest in the university as well. So I just wanted to speak on how we're going to expand that event this year and going forward.
Good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you all for having me. Our event was slated for November 5th, 2017, and we had 3 events. We had a half marathon, we had a 10K, and we had a 5K. Trustee, weren't you there? Yes. Was anybody else here? Oh, okay. So we at least, well, I have 2, 3 witnesses on the panel. But we were wrought with rain, threats of tornado, hail, any and every weather-related event you can imagine. We were threatened with that. First thing in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, we didn't think we were going to be able to go forward with it because of the weather. And of course, the weather can surely stifle any event, especially the threat of, such violent weather. But just as Chief Pate mentioned, we had individuals coming from out of town. People traveled 3 hours and upwards to be here. And so last year was our inaugural year. We did have hotel accommodations in Madison. So just as what Mr. Scott was saying, it is a regional effort. So for the things that we're not able to get done here in the village, we did reach out into this region to find the services that we needed for that event. Going to get the water and snacks and things of that nature for the race. We went right here to the Walmart, or we went to the Sam's Club up the street. So it is a community event, and we have to be mindful of the fact that it's not just a University Park thing. As a runner myself, many individuals have expressed to me the desire to have events in the Southland area. Everyone doesn't wish to go to the city, and I thought it was a great opportunity to do just that. I am not from the area, but I have worked at Governor's State for many years, and as such, I fell in love with this region. So I was more than happy to bring the event here. I had tried previously to do so, but we were able to successfully get the event up and underway last year, so I'm excited. So we were excited then, we're extra excited now because we've already begun planning. So we're looking at September 30th, please mark your calendars. And again, it's a regional thing. If you would have seen the individuals that didn't know us from, the next person along the way, but they traveled 2, 3, 4 hours. One woman brought her child. Another woman brought 2 kids, and they traveled 3 hours to come here. And they stayed in, we had, I think it was Hampton Inn. Shout out to Madison, Hampton Inn. But they were great, and people were excited. And even after the race, for those who were present, just the energy. The village residents were just driving by, blowing their horns. They were just excited. The sheriffs who participated and volunteered their time, they were excited. It was just a lot of joy, a lot of laughter. We're starting early, so we need the help of each and one of you. And even if you're not a runner, please spread the word, volunteer. That's what we lacked a lot of last time, volunteerism. But again, the weather was surely our nemesis.